Hi guys, welcome back. This is episode number 7. So for the last week we've been talking about the subconscious mind, and I've been sharing you tidbits and pieces of information that's pretty much led you up to the 7th day here, what we're talking about. And the information I'm sharing today, I'm actually a little more excited about the last 6 days, because everything I've shared with you in the last 6 days is basically what took me about 5 or 6 years to really get, understand, and grasp and figure out how to do. That basically led me to actually start creating parts of my own philosophy, the new modus operandi, or my new way of thinking and directing, and new understandings, which led to writing my first book. And one of the things I did in that book is really wrote the philosophy, which I'll share with you guys here, called the Pyramid of Success. So the first thing I want you guys to understand is this. As you can see, you probably can't see that clear, but I'll explain to you. So I basically have a pyramid here broken down into 4 categories. The first category of that pyramid is the bottom, what's called the bottom 27%. The second is the 60%, the 10, and the 3. And this is made up, if you add it together, it's 100%. So that makes it for everyone in the world. And that percentage is the percentage of the philosophy that people have. So basically, the bottom 27% of people in the world are what you call unmotivated, okay? So these are the people who are there. They're doom and gloom. Doesn't matter. You can say happy Monday to them. They don't care. These are the people, possibly, if you give them a gold bar and they accidentally drop it on their feet, they'll blame you for it, and not seeing that it's actually worth $500,000, right? So they're doom and gloom. But then there's the 60% category. This category of folks here, they're motivatable. And the funny thing about it, you'll get to see here when I go into the next category, they're motivatable, which means they're impressionable by the top or the bottom category, and they're basically willing and eager to learn. And then in the top 10% is where you want to basically find yourself. These are the movers and shakers, the people that are starting to make a change and create their lives. You're probably one of them if you're watching this video. Anyways, make it to the end, right? So the top 10 is motivated. And what the motivated people do, they're very observant. We'll share that more with you. But then you have the top 3%. These are like your Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey's, people that are changing the world. And it's not that they were born that way. Anyone from any category. In fact, I was there in that 27% category. But it takes time. So if you didn't see the first 5 videos, go back and watch the first 5 and the one from yesterday, which is amazing. That shows you the leap from year 1 to year 5 to really get your head wrapped around it. And tomorrow I'm going to share really the law of 10,000 hours, which is going to be very, very important for you to get. So one of the things you want to know that I broke down here on the scale is, in order to get from the bottom to the top of the pyramid of success, is you have to work, right? Don't fear the word work. And I broke it down here basically. So the bottom 27%, these are the people in work. They're the letter K. They know everything. You can't teach them anything. And here's what's funny. When you start to, here's how you identify those people. Every time you try to share something with them, like, oh yeah, I know that. But here's what happens psychologically. When the brain says, I know, right? K-N-O-W, the emphasis is on the N-O, which means they don't know nothing really. But when the brain says, I know, it cease and desist all function from learning new material. So you can't teach them anything. So if they're already knowing they're negative, then they're not going anywhere unless they begin to open their mind and hack themselves, right? Remember that. So the 60%, they're motivatable. Here's their biggest thing. These are the people that are always trying to be right. And if you add the 60 and the 27%, basically that's 87% of the world. They're designed for the programming that's already running. And here's what you have to be able to ask yourself at the end of this, right? Whose program are you running on or running off of? Is it the program of the world or the program of yourself? Are you creating and writing the script? Or are you being an I am person to really invest in yourself and move forward to where you want to go? The 10%, they're very observant, right? They're watching what the other 87% are doing, know that it's discomfort with them. They don't want to do that, and they're observing what the 3% is doing also, and start to mirror match them, getting around that environment and making the pledge to take the run for 5 years to change their lives. But what you look at it this way, when we stop knowing so much, when we stop trying to be right and become more observant, we get to the 3% where they're worry-free. If you spell it backwards, it's work. And all it takes to get to the top, guys, is work. That's all it is. So when you take all of these into consideration, I have it parallel parenthesized over here. You see, all these things is what really gets us, number one, it gets you basically trained. If you're following the philosophy that's not growing and getting you, your training leads into the files we talked about in the previous videos to define who you are. And it basically helps you to, once you're trained in that way or whatever the old way is, and they start to create those really hard files and you start to be observant and more what you do. But the most important thing is this: you believe what it is. Now, if it's the old files and you're not moving forward and challenging those, your beliefs become the things that gets you confirmed into your old beliefs, but then you stay and you start to act upon them, and that creates your philosophy. And we know what your philosophy is according to Jeff Olson's book, The Slight Edge, right? What you know, how you hold, and how it affects what you do. That's why that's there, right? So the last thing your philosophy do is it basically determines who you are. So like I said, you have to decide who you are, and from that point, you start to make the push for the next 5 years. So stay tuned. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about the law of 10,000 hours, because that's really what it takes for rewriting your mental DNA, in a sense, to become the person you want to be. So with that, guys, take care, take charge. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. God bless. Talk to you then.